Friends from the Road. You are now listening to the Friends from the Road podcast.
Gaining new friends along the journey. Sharing stories that inspire, encourage, and motivate.
Friends from the Road podcast.
Now here's your host, Daniel Hurd.
All right, we're here at the Standish Hickey recreational area in Northern California, and it's been a tough day for me. I planned on going further, but everything happens for a reason. I'm actually here with a group of cyclists. We're all here doing our own thing, but the one thing we have in common is the bicycle. So tonight we're gathering here at the picnic table and having an open conversation. And I'm having a conversation tonight with Brittany, Jack, Hannah, and Adam. Guys, welcome to Friends from the Road.
Thank
you.
Thanks so much.
So, you know, as I already said, we all have something in common. We're all on a bicycle, but we all have different things going on. Brittany, we're going to start with you, only because I know you're trying to get to bed.
At 7 o'clock.
Yeah, it's literally already that time, so we're keeping her up late just to get this conversation going.
It's already getting to sunset.
2 more hours.
That's right.
So, tell us what you're doing. You and Tom, you're
Yeah, so Tom and I, we started traveling full-time back in 2016, and we started on bicycles. We downsized, we sold everything we owned, and decided that we were going to bicycle from Eugene, Oregon to Mexico with our dog in a doggy bicycle trailer.
How was that?
It was rough.
I bet. Did you guys do any biking as adults before that?
Not really.
Okay.
No.
So this was just like
on a whim, like pretty much. We wanted to start traveling, and that seemed like a way to do it.
It's the cheapest way, other than walking.
So Tom is a retired paramedic and firefighter, and at the time I had been an exotic animal trainer and then a dog trainer, and I wanted to move out of the animal training business. And so, yeah.
Out of curiosity, because you brought it up, exotic animals. There's a lot of exotic animals out there. Was there certain types that you worked with?
So I have a degree in exotic animal training and management.
Okay.
I worked with, my specialty was birds of prey. But I also worked with big cats, tigers, primates, a huge variety. But I moved out of that industry because ethically I was really uncomfortable with what I was seeing. Yeah. And so then I started doing dog training. So basically when we wanted to start traveling, I wanted to move out of animal training, and I was like, I'm going to be a travel blogger. This is what I'm going to do for a living. I can do it. And of course, everybody was like, all right, good luck with that. But I did it. So that's what I do now. I write a travel blog. And this is our first, right now, we are doing the same trip that we started with our dog years and years ago. The way that went is we traveled with the dog. We started to get really rained on in Northern California. So we moved into an RV. We bought an RV and continued traveling for years.
Okay.
But with COVID, we stopped for about a year. And so this trip, we decided to reintroduce ourselves into full-time travel again with the bicycle trip again. And this time at the right time of year when we're not getting rained on and without the dog, because sadly he passed away. And so we are dog-free, so we can actually get up the hills.
You can get up them, and you guys are doing it with more understanding.
Yeah.
And with no real, you just go with the flow, kind of like my journey.
Yeah,
There's no deadline.
we totally just, kind of go at our own pace, which makes us a lot slower than some people, but...
Well, it was funny because when I finally met you guys the other day, I had been told about you guys, and we talked about it. It was, I met Doug first, and he was like, yeah, there's a couple people behind me, and there's a couple, but they're slower.
Yeah, that's us.
and then I met Mark, and he's like, yeah, there's a couple behind me, but they're walking their bikes up the hills. They're going at their own pace.
Yeah.
They're slower.
Yeah, that's us.
So then I met you guys. I'm like, so are you guys the slow couple? They're like, we're the slow couple.
Yes, but that's our whole thing too. Like it's so funny because that's even what I write about on my travel blog is slow travel. We like to take our time. Like when we went to Southeast Asia, we stopped for we'd stop for weeks in small towns and get to know the locals, and so that's what we're doing on the bikes too. But yeah, this is our reintroduction. We're doing this trip again, and it's so much more enjoyable without all the rain.
Oh, I bet. So what time of year did you do it with the rain? Was that like early
Fall.
spring? Fall?
Yeah, it was in
Because that's the rainy
September.
season, right?
Yeah, it was
the fall
just-
and early spring.
Usually September's okay, but the year we did it, it was a really wet year. It was 2016, and like actually a cyclone hit the Pacific coast, and we had to be in a hotel because they shut down all the parks, and it was like tornadoes.
Oh,
It was
man.
nuts.
And at that point, were you guys like, are we doing the right thing?
That's when we bought the RV.
Okay. We're not doing the right thing. Let's get out of this.
Yeah, that's when we were done. Right there. Yep.
Oh man. So how long you guys? How long's this trip been so far?
We are at 21 days today.
21 days.
Wait, so are you
Yeah.
cycling together? Are you doing like? Do you still have the RV? Yeah.
Oh no, we sold the RV when our dog passed away, and then we started traveling with backpacks. We went to Southeast Asia for a while.
Okay. Where in Southeast?
We went to Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam.
Where in Thailand?
Oh, a lot of it. We went to Bangkok, Chiang Mai, Pai. We did like the whole thing, and then we went down south to the islands.
Did you go to
Have you been to
Phuket?
Thailand?
I've been to Phuket.
Oh, okay. Oh,
I went
okay.
to
You know
Phuket
what?
twice.
We skipped Phuket, actually. We went to some smaller, less touristy islands down below.
Okay.
We were kind of trying to avoid the major tourist hubs because
Yeah.
they get pretty crowded.
I was there for the military, so
Oh,
it was a military port.
Different
interesting.
experience.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Yeah, we did that with little carry-on backpacks, and that was it.
I bet that was so fun.
It was awesome. Yeah, it was. It was cool. Different, but also a lot of walking.
Yeah, that's something I don't like to do. That's why I ride a bike.
Yep.
I would have gave up a long time ago if I was walking.
Yeah, that's the next thing we're gonna do. Well, one of the next things. Next spring, we're gonna go to Europe and walk the Camino de Santiago.
That's gonna be
nice.
cool.
Yeah, Tom's done it once, and I really want to do it, so he's gonna do it again with me.
Hey, so you brought up that you do a blog.
Mm-hmm.
That's your profession nowadays.
Yep.
Can you just tell everybody what your blog is? We're gonna also put it in the comments so everybody can see it as well. But
Yeah, totally. It's called The Rolling Pack because we started out on wheels with a dog, and we've continued on wheels in different ways and with packs. So therollingpack.com.
rollingpack.com.
Yep.
There it is, guys, and we'll have the comments as well.
Cool.
Brittany, is there anything else that you would like to add? Any advice, any insight for maybe somebody that's wanted to do what you guys did? And
Yeah, just go for it. It's never going to be the perfect time. I think that people wait and wait and wait for big trips, for any trip. You know, they try and wait until it's like they have the right amount of knowledge or the perfect equipment or the perfect amount of money. It's never going to be perfect. And a lot of people miss their chance by waiting too long. So if you want to do something like this, take the leap, man. Go for it.
just do it.
Do it. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of people is we think about these ideas we want to do, but then we sit there and think about them.
Yeah.
And then we think about all the things that could go wrong. And,
Right.
And can we really do these things?
Yeah.
But the initial thought, we could do that. We're
Yep.
doing it.
Yep.
But then all the other things come in, and I think that's where people get stuck is
Yeah.
the afterthought.
And if
Just-
you take the leap, it'll happen. It'll work itself out. That's the thing. It really will. I mean, you know that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, part of my whole journey is I'm doing my entire journey with no savings, figure it out day by day.
There you go.
So
Yeah.
I'm trying to show the people that we can
Yeah.
survive, and daily struggles and financial struggles is the leading cause of suicide for a lot of people. So to show people that we can do that, including myself, I had to do it as well because my last suicide attempt was financial struggle in part. So it was a thing that I had to prove to myself, and I'm still here 3+ years later. So
Yeah.
we don't need as much as we think to travel. We don't need it as much to survive.
That's absolutely right.
So
Yeah.
well,
I was wondering quickly, what are your feelings on the Rolling Stone by Dylan? What's his name?
Oh, the song?
Bob Dylan? As the Rolling Pack. What do you feel about the song?
I haven't made that comparison.
I don't really believe that.
haven't thought about that.
Didn't even come into my mind until you said that.
Rolling Stone. I don't know the song well enough to.
Oh, well, shit.
I don't know the lyrics well enough to.
Well, we'll have to
Put
look
that
into
on
it
the list, yeah.
at some point.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up.
It's not, it's probably a cost to put on this podcast. So,
But I knew it
everyone
when you
look
said
it up.
it.
Yeah, look it up
Yeah.
independently.
Like, I
and,
knew it was Bob Dylan.
Listen to it.
So okay,
Yeah.
I'm good. Thank you.
It's a good one.
Okay.
Highly recommend.
All right. I will look it up.
Well, hey, I like that. That was actually interesting.
Here for
Thank
it.
you, Adam.
Yeah, here for it.
But is there any other? Do you guys have any questions that I didn't bring up, or anything that you would like to ask Brittany? Anything that you guys thought of, or anything that I forgot?
Make sure you check out the swimming hole too.
I mean, like, what brought?
Yes,
what,
that's
like,
what we were
breed of dog?
Oh, he was a 40-pound Aussie mix.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. So the trailer was about 75 pounds.
That's
Yeah.
It was not fun pulling up these hills, let me tell
Well,
you.
especially with him shifting like that.
Yeah, he was. That's the
Yeah.
thing. Yeah,
I
totally.
bet that was the hard part because of the shifting. If he was stationary, it would probably wouldn't have been as bad.
Right. I hadn't
Still
thought of
bad,
that.
for
It's
sure.
still. Well, I
You
think,
did 350
I think in my
pounds,
200-pound
though.
I mean,
trailer-
still bad.
I think my 200-pound trailer.
I'm not
okay?
saying it's not bad. Any sort of trailer, don't do it.
Yeah, totally. That was my lesson. Any sort of trailer, don't do it.
Choose
That
not
was-
to.
That was my original plan for my whole journey, and then I built a camper.
Yep.
And there you go.
Camper's pretty cool, though.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
I miss
Yeah.
it so much. It was literally my home.
Yeah.
So,
it looked cool.
it was really
I saw
awesome.
the pictures. Yeah. It looked really neat.
Well, hey, Brittany, I know we're holding you up to go to bed.
I'm gonna head to bed.
I like the idea, and
Thank you.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna talk to Jack, Hannah, and Adam about their adventures. Hey folks, I want to talk about the helmet that saved my life after a major accident. Burn Helmets is a helmet that I have used for years and will continue to use Burn to protect my head. Burn focuses on designing stylish, innovative, and purpose-driven helmets that appeal to riders looking for something a little out of the ordinary. Being the original all-season helmet brand, Burn is a team that's passionate about being active and having fun while being safe. At Burn, they embrace all aspects of the activities that we love, and they strive to make high-quality products that speak to kids, commuters, casual riders, even dedicated athletes. Whether you ride for transportation, exercise, or just a great way to get outdoors, they have your head covered. Check out burnhelmets.com and see the great deals happening in the Burn Barn. Burn Helmets. Stay out there. So we're back, guys. I'm here with Jack, Hannah, and Adam. I gotta first say to Jack and Hannah, you guys are the first father-daughter group that I have seen on my entire journey in 3+ years.
Wow.
I've only met one other parent-child group, and that was a mother-son, which I happened to do an episode on them not too long ago. So if you haven't heard that, go check that one out. And that is pedal pushers. But what is your guys' journey? Tell us what you guys are doing and what inspired it.
What inspired it was a long time ago when Hannah was little, and so was my son Noah. And I was sitting around complaining about work, and the running joke between my wife and I is I'd be like, yeah, you need to go find a job and support us, and I will stay home with the kids. And it's just a joke between us because she's a social worker and I'm a computer nerd, so the social worker salary doesn't quite cover it. So, but she was like, why don't you take summers off or a summer off with each one of the kids when they get old enough, and go do your big adventure ride across the U.S. or whatever you want to do with them. And I was like, that's a cool idea. And
What?
So your wife is actually the reason this. Your wife. What's your wife's name?
Laura.
Shout out to Laura for being the inspiration. I'm sure the kids weren't as thrilled about it, but at the end they will be.
But
My gosh.
then we started talking, about it just little by little, and you throw things out in the universe, and
How old
Things
is your
happen.
son?
he just graduated high school, so he's 18.
Okay.
So it's just
So
you
we-
two?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I did the trip with my son 4 years ago.
And you guys
so
went from Bar Harbor, Maine to
Oregon. We went to
Oregon.
Florence, Oregon,
that was it.
and then ended back in Eugene and flew out of there.
Okay.
4 years ago. He was how old?
Freshman.
Freshman.
Of high school?
So was that like 14, 15?
Yeah,
Somewhere around there?
Man.
14.
Props to that 14-year-old.
Now-
How old are you?
I'm 16.
Jeez Louise.
So, but the reason, so your plan initially was to do it with in between freshman and sophomore?
Yeah, that
was
was
the
Going
kind
initial
of
into
plan?
freshman.
Yeah.
Or going into freshman?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would have been 13.
Yeah. So that was the plan, but life always gets in the way. So
Yeah, that and pandemics and everything else
all
that's
kinds
happened.
of stuff. Yeah. So we got to the point where we're like, we got to make this happen now,
Otherwise, she's graduated and she's gonna be like, "Deuces, Dad."
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I started making noise about it again like a year and a half ago, and got it arranged with work, and now we're out here playing. Hannah, we started planning a transcontinental trip, and then Hannah was like, "Nope, I want to go."
Not what I wanted to do.
Hannah, what was it that you? Because man, I gotta think like. You heard your brother's stories. You heard all the stuff that him and your dad did. What turned you off from doing that?
It's kind of like what you just said. It was what he and my brother did. And so, I wanted to do something different.
Okay.
I mean, we would have gone, west to east. But
It wouldn't have been as fun. It would have been a lot harder. You would have
Yeah.
been. You would have been a better cyclist because of it.
yeah, but
Yeah, we were kind of planning Washington to Rhode Island.
yeah.
Okay.
Was
Do you-
the beginning and end.
What route did you do with your son?
We did Bar Harbor, Maine to Florence, Oregon.
Mostly the northern tier.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
gotcha.
we roughly
Gotcha.
mirrored the northern tier, but we weren't really on it. We
Yeah.
kind of made up
Gotcha.
our own stuff, and we were.
Those are the better ones most of the
What
time,
made
anyways.
you choose that?
He chose it.
Okay, gotcha. All right, fair enough.
You just go with it.
There you go.
I'll ask you that question in a few minutes about yours. Now, so Hannah, you were like, "Nope, we're not doing this. I don't want to do it." Was it your idea to do the journey you guys are on, or where was the original plan? Because I know you guys said earlier Utah. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so we decided that instead of cycling across the U.S., we were going to explore the western half of the United States, pretty much. We have a van that is currently in Novato that we drove out to Utah, and we were going to do a bike loop there. Was it the Utah Cliffs route? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so we wanted to start that, like, very first week of
June.
June, the adventure. But we ran into 100+ degree heat for days on end. and then we modified it so we skipped a lot of the really big climbing stuff that we would have had to do
In the heat.
in the heat. But then we got
We left from Cedar City
Okay.
and climbed up into the mountains. And we got there, and our camp host, we were staying at a Forest Service campground, and this camp host was like, "Hey, like an hour ago, I just got a report that there's a wildfire over near Mammoth Caves," which was exactly where the that Utah Cliffs route goes.
So day one,
Day one, we're wandering around the campsite talking to all these different people that are pulling in that had information about the fire, and we sat down that night and had a conversation. I was like, here's what we could do. We could do this, we could do this, we could do this, but there's that fire sitting out there, and we pulled the plug, turned around, went downhill, loaded up the van, and headed for California.
We decided Utah did not like us. So,
Utah did not like us on day one. They said, get out.
yep.
So modification happened, adapt and overcome like humans do. And now you guys are doing a loop here in Northern California.
Yes.
And
we had planned the California loop, so we just had a few, 2 weeks
Yep.
or something like that of just
extra time.
open time. That we
Okay,
didn't
so
really
it
know.
was already part of the journey.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
We just ended up here faster than we had planned.
Now
Well,
something.
basically.
Now, something else that's unique to your journey that your brother, I don't think did, at least I don't hear about, is that you are doing rock climbing along the way.
Yeah. So we have all our rock climbing gear back in the van. We're not carrying it with us.
That's probably better.
Tour. Yeah, that stuff is heavy, or it can get heavy. So yeah, we're climbing where we can and stuff. And it's pretty fun.
Very cool. Any
Cool.
good climbs that you've done on this trip so far?
I think my favorite has been oh, got him.
Mosquitoes
Sucker.
are bad out here,
Yes.
guys. It's a battle.
Got him. Victorious. Has been up at Tahoe. There's a place called Luther Spires,
Okay.
Shit.
and I really liked it. It was super fun.
Wait, you guys were out by Tahoe?
Yeah. So after we
Fort Bragg, are you taking?
That was with the van.
yeah
Okay.
yeah
That was with the
after
van.
after we got kicked out of Utah, we headed up to Tahoe to stay with some friends and did some climbing, did a little loop around the lake. So
Okay, sure.
yeah,
Bouldering or like free rope, lead climbing sort of stuff?
mostly lead climbing.
Yeah, sport climbing.
Yeah.
We don't have a trad rack with us, so
Gotcha.
it's all just kind of moderate sport. Hannah just started leading
So cool.
A month or so before
a couple
this.
months ago, and
So cool.
I'm glad I got Adam here as like the co-host right now because he's asking the questions that I don't know what to ask. So thank you, Adam.
Here for the support.
Appreciate it. Because I don't know anything about rock climbing. You said those three things, and I was just like, you climb rocks. What's the difference?
100%.
we also had
That's dope. When did you get into it? Like climbing in general? Like is this like a rock climbing thing in gym or like?
You gotta remember, they live in like rock
Sorry.
climbing area of Colorado.
Sure.
Yeah, like that's like the thing where they live.
Sure.
No?
I
Isn't
don't
it?
really know.
I thought that's it's pretty much
there's
the
lots
thing
of-
out there.
There's lots of climbing in Colorado, and I don't know. We started climbing with the kids. I don't know, a couple of years ago, and she just got into it a lot more. Like just before COVID hit, we had a gym that's like 15 minutes from the house, and so we'd go over and go climb at the gym all the time. And COVID hit, and we all sat around and waited for the gym to open back up, and started climbing there twice a week at least.
Yeah.
She liked it enough she'd actually get up early in the morning and go climb for an hour and a half before school.
What? A teenager up
Yeah,
before school?
right.
That's
This is virtual. I just slept through it.
well, yeah,
No,
it was an interesting year, especially last year for students. You know, I gotta ask you this, and you can be as broad or whatever you want with it. Is how was it as a student? You know, being in high school. You know, high school is usually a very social setting. I don't know how it is per
Yeah.
se at a charter school, but
Fraught time.
yeah. And you didn't really get that for your most of your sophomore year, right?
Yeah. It was a sort of easy transition for my school because instead of like snow days and stuff, we do virtual days. So, because pretty much everything we do is already online. So it was a decently easy transition, at least in that sense, to go full virtual or half virtual. But I guess like socially and stuff, I don't know. For me, it was pretty easy. Very much an introvert.
Well, you're doing a great job for this. I appreciate it.
So
Well, and that you spent lots of time on Discord and chatting with friends in Discord.
Yeah.
And doing like virtual movie nights
Yeah,
with
so-
friends because there's some movie app that you could sit there and chat
Oh, really?
Yeah,
with
yeah.
each other while they're watching a movie. So I'd go upstairs. I'm like, hey Hannah, what are you doing? Watch a movie with friends. Okay, well tell them all hi. And
yeah.
Very cool.
So yeah, I
So-
stayed connected a lot virtually.
Nice. Now, I know you guys also have a blog. What is your guys' blog? Do you care to share it?
sure, it's really long.
It's a really
It's a
long
ridiculous URL, but it's Hannah and Jack's excellent adventure.tours.
All right. Well, we will also have that in the comments. Who's writing it?
Both of us.
Both of you guys are?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So that'll be really interesting, guys. You guys we'll have the link in the comments so you can check out their adventures as they continue and finish up and
Yep.
have this amazing experience that not a lot of children get to have. So you're into that 0.1 percenters club, all right? But we still have Adam here that's been chiming in and helping me out with this.
Shit.
And Adam,
your turn.
you're the oddball out of all of us, to be honest.
I was gonna say I've got too many questions before this. What grade are you again?
Okay.
I'm gonna be a junior going into
Junior. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not thinking about like college at this point, I would
Oh no,
imagine.
I am.
Yeah, that's-
Already?
I don't,
All right.
I don't want to be, but
What?
That's
Okay.
the
So
time.
what colleges are you looking at?
Or do you have a focus that
Yeah.
you're planning?
nope.
Okay, so
Sure. 100%. I hear you there.
Any other questions?
Not for now. Not for now. I mean, I don't know. I'm so interested about this like whole route you guys have been taking, like up the coast. How's that been? Like on a tandem? Like just on a tandem in general. I'm so.
Oh yeah, I don't think
about
we
that.
brought that up. That you guys are doing this journey on a tandem.
Yeah.
I don't think we brought that up.
It's dangerous
actually.
as hell on like a regular bike. On
Yeah.
a tandem, it's a different scenario.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a mirror on your tandem?
I have a
river?
mirror on my helmet.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yes.
So you rely on him for your
Like, what
rear
does
view.
that do though? That's the thing. Is like I've been like racking my brains about like mirrors on like a helmet or like a bike or whatever, and it's like at the end of the day, like a car coming
I
up
had
on
a-
you.
I
It's
had
like
a-
I can only get over so many feet. Like I hear you.
Well, like in
And
my
I'm over.
accident, I had a mirror on my bike, and I don't remember the accident, so I can't tell you how
Yeah.
I reacted or anything. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
didn't do
I don't
any
know.
good then.
I don't know, man.
It's peace of mind. It
Yeah.
makes like merging in and out of stuff a lot easier.
Okay.
And I can, you hear a car and I can look back behind me.
Sure.
And
Without swinging around.
yeah, because on the tandem you can't turn your head and look behind you.
Sure.
Well,
Big-
I can. So
Yeah,
I'll
Hannah
clear
can.
stuff because I can
Sure.
move around and look without swerving the bike off the road.
Yeah, but the person in front can't.
Yeah.
It's different.
Sure.
And so having that mirror gives me a little bit better peace of mind. I can see that, I hear a semi, and I can look back and I can see it move over.
Or
And I'm
not.
like-
Or not.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, this one's not going to be able to move over.
Yeah.
I need to get out of the way, or stuff like that.
Gotcha.
And I like to think that
My socks.
we're
My feet are cold.
okay.
Favorite.
We're big enough because we got two big panniers and then a big yellow bag on top that we have all of our camping stuff in.
Yeah.
And then I've got the big safety triangle, and then a really rudely bright blinky, and
Like on the front,
on the back.
on the back, yeah.
This boy right here.
Yeah.
Really bright.
Oh yeah.
Um, And so I like to think that we're big enough that we're hard to
Should not be.
disregard.
Sure.
But it also seems like, because I ride a lot, I ride a lot outside of this, and it seems to me that we get a little bit more novelty, a little bit more regard out on the tandem, because it's not something people see and they're like,
You
oh,
can catch you eye. Yeah, it's an eye catcher.
They're like, oh, that's cool. I'm not going to flip this guy off because he's on a tandem.
I won't ruin this
still
person's day. I won't end this person's life.
Right.
It's okay if it was only one of them, but there's two of them. I can't do
Two
that.
of them.
I know that sounds really dumb, but
No, but I'm glad we can at least laugh and joke about it.
yeah.
Because it really is.
One
It's
vehicular manslaughter. Yeah, sure, why not?
I mean, yeah, a two
Nah.
is ridiculous.
it's a joking matter right now, but it is a serious thing where people
It's a
it happens, and
It is.
you know, I'm glad we can at least have a sense of humor behind it, because otherwise we wouldn't be doing what we're doing.
I mean, you have to.
You do, you really do.
You gotta be like a little bit delusional
It helps.
to make it work.
So
Yeah,
I'm not gonna be it.
we're the good type of crazy. But hey, you know, before we start with you guys, is there any advice for kids, teenagers, people doing things, going with their parents, and vice versa, doing stuff with their kids? Any advice that you guys would give or anything like that? Any
go do it. It's fun.
Bring more socks than you think you need.
All right, well, you guys heard it. Bring more
Tell me-
socks and go have fun.
Yes.
Tell me the second thought that you wouldn't say, but we'll say it in this setting.
I don't know.
That's a tough question to
That's
ask.
fair. That's fair.
Well, hey, when we get back, we're going to ask you the tough questions now, Adam.
Oh, it's your turn.
If you're looking for high-quality bicycle accessories, then you need SKS Germany. Now with 100 years as a leading manufacturer of bicycle accessories, they have been ensuring that the wheels are rolling. I know of SKS Germany because of their global reputation for its innovative mud guards for all wheel and frame sizes, providing optimal protection from dirt and splash water. In addition to fenders, they make pumps, compact bike tools, chain guards, bottles, bottle cages, bags, and many other accessories. So if you're looking to set your ride up with the best, go to sks-us.com and use capital FFR15 to receive 15% off your order. Now, enjoy the second half of the episode. All right, and now we have our last guest, which has been cracking up over here on the side, Adam. Adam, you're going on a pretty epic journey right now, and
That's what I like to think about it. Yeah.
you're kind of doing like a loop at this point.
Sure.
What are you doing? What do you got? Where are you starting from?
One might say. We're starting from Johnson City, Tennessee. We are currently in California. I'll tell you what, California's been nuts, and it's going to be nuts all the way up to Seattle, or to wherever I turn around, I suppose.
Wherever you decide to turn right.
It's like a whole, like, limbo. Like, it's nuts. Like, it's crazy. Like, feeling like Route 66 had, like, a, like, feeling to it. In a way that I think was more so than, like, the destinations I was looking at. Route 66, like, certainly had, like, a feeling. Like, this road has, like, a feeling. I'm still getting to, like, the sense of, like, what the one is in that regard, other than, like, danger. And, like,
in survival.
other than, like, oh, we gotta, like, avoid these cars.
Pure survival instinct.
But yeah, coming back on 76 eventually. So coming back like through like Oregon, across Kansas, eventually. But at this point, it's just like, man, on the one for sure. And that's like all I can think about until we're off of it. Honestly,
Yeah.
like,
Well, hey,
man,
technically,
don't go on the one if you're thinking about a bike ride. Think about, like, the 76. Think about, like, the 66. Think about, like, anything else. Don't do the Pacific Coast. It's gorgeous.
No, don't do the Pacific Coast.
Don't do it.
From south to north.
I don't think do it in general.
It's not as bad from north to south. And
You
I
haven't
can
been
say,
San Francisco to San Diego.
no, I have not yet. But
It's not good. No one should cycle on that route. Like, it's dangerous. I don't know.
Hazard.
It's dangerous.
maybe I won't do as much of it.
Stay
That is
stay
scary.
aware. Yeah, I don't think like traffic picks up for sure.
For sure. But so, what inspired you to do this? What got you
Yeah.
on a bike?
So I was returned Peace Corps volunteer. So like there was a lot of restrictions around like movement and like where you're gonna be in the country. For a good reason, for like safety, for a good reason. But no doubt about it, like you're texting your parents every time you're like leaving village, like, hey, can I come to like the market town to like buy some potatoes? Like, is that all right? So like there's a bit of that, and like a bit of the experience being like I came over here to West Africa to like experience like a different culture, like a different language, like a very different way of life, but I hadn't experienced that in like the Southwest along the coast at all, and so like that was a big like draw to me, for a reason of doing a thing like this. Also, like, I mean, heck, if you're not like employed, good time to bike around the country. Like, hey, you coming off of like a federal stipend, like maybe you should use that money to buy a bike and like circle the country. Yeah, I don't know.
Now so you came back from Peace Corps. Did you come back because of the pandemic?
Yeah, we came back in March. There was like a global evacuation. Interestingly, I was on a Friday flight and there was a Sunday flight as well. If I had missed both of those flights, the flight that I would take back to the United States would have been a charter plane by the United States military to come back to the United States. So, like, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane. Like, thinking about, like, the Peace Corps as, like, a very, like, liberal, sort of, like, out there sort of, like, experience. But at the end of the day, like, come with, like, a pandemic in mind, like, full charter plane to get you back to the United States. And it's like, man, that sort of experience is, like, hard to live through in terms of, like, the community and, like, leaving that community. Like, yeah, certainly a lot of difficult situations, I suppose.
Oh, I bet.
But yeah.
Now you're taking this opportunity because you're. I remember you saying earlier you're looking to become like a full-time writer. Is that what you're working on?
Yeah, for sure. Got rejected from the MFA programs that I currently apply to. So like Michigan and Cornell and Brown. We're looking at you. Like, what's up? And would sure appreciate an acceptance this next time around. We would sure like it. Yeah, so looking at, like, especially, like, Cornell has, like, an MFA PhD program this time around. They have it biannually, so they don't offer it every year. So it's kind of like, well, shit, like, got rejected from all these programs. Cornell might be the way to go with this MFA PhD program for this coming year, so, like, might work out. Yeah, so Cornell, looking at you. Do you want to accept a particular person? That'd be great.
Hey, so if anybody
followers of this
listening
podcast
knows anybody at
if
Cornell,
you're in the
put the
administration,
words in.
yeah, would appreciate it. Trying to go to grad school. Yeah, trying to like look at like MFA programs through both the lens of my own writing, which needs improvement, but also like the lens of like I think I would really appreciate academic teaching, and I haven't had much experience with that. So both MFA and PhD would be more experience with that.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Hey, and it'll happen,
Yeah.
and you'll go where you're supposed to when it's
Hell
supposed
yeah.
to.
Exactly. And until then, we're on the coast
And rolling.
and unaware of like where we are geographically.
Yeah, we just know we're in
And
Northern
it's working
California,
out.
Somewhere
near the
there.
It's fine.
redwoods.
Yeah, it's like 40 miles
I haven't-
from where
are we
it
in the
was.
redwoods anymore?
It's fine.
Like we're not. I don't think there's any redwoods here. I don't think.
I think so. Yeah. There's like one. There's one in Leggett. The one that you drive through.
I'm not saying that one. I'm
Not
saying
here. Yeah,
at
not
this
here.
very spot.
Yeah, not sure if there's any redwoods specifically here.
I don't see any, but there's oaks.
There's a lot of trees,
There's a lot of trees.
and no one will
Which is
tell
good.
you
And a lot of mosquitoes.
Lots of mosquitoes.
So many mosquitoes.
it's what you want. In other words,
I got a hickey on my neck of mosquitoes. I'm telling you, there's like 10 of them. They've been just making out with my neck. Adam, what else you got? What else you want to share? What else you got happening?
what else I got?
Yeah,
I'll tell
actually,
you.
you got a blog.
I'll
What's
tell
your
you.
blog?
I'll tell you. My blog is something else. We'll link it in the comments. It's fine.
Okay.
What's great is I'll tell you my favorite experience from like this entire time so far. It's been in northern Arizona. Highly recommend to anyone going through northern Arizona.
Where in northern Arizona?
Talking about Holbrook,
Okay, because
Arizona?
I want to tell you
Petrified National Forest, around that area.
that might be cool, but I had
is
the
cool.
opposite experience in northern Arizona.
Oh, we're talking really cool. We're talking about really cool Petrified National Forest. So we're talking about like motel, side of the road, and then we're talking about like 20 miles on the interstate, like in the morning, as you do.
Yeah.
And then we're talking about like 27 miles, maybe even 37 if we're feeling lucky, and I think we are. We're talking about 37 miles in the National Forest of Petrified National Park. Great experience. Highly recommend to everyone at this table. Not anyone not at this table. I wouldn't recommend it. Don't go there.
Now you're making me question this.
Yeah.
No, amazing experience.
Is it
it's
amazing
like
for a
great, like
cyclist?
virgin roads. Great, like
So
they pave this roads for cyclists, pretty much.
So don't go to this unless you're a cyclist.
Unless you're a cyclist, like stay away. Don't go to this national park. We don't want you there, and
No
they don't
cars.
want you there. No one wants you there. If you're a cyclist, we really want.
Or hiker.
Like, yeah, a hiker. Really recommend that you come to this national park. Definitely use the space. Use the roads that are freshly paved. They're really amazing. Goes through some like amazing like national landscapes, like the best of the like Wild West sort of things, like painted canyons sort of thing.
Nice.
But ended in Holbrook, which is this tiny town. Found out I was trying to find this like bar at the end of town that was apparently popular. Like walked past it and then turned around and like found this place. Everyone in the bar turned around and was like, "Hey, like, can I be here? Like, is that okay?" And they were like, "Yeah." Like the like bartender was like, "Yeah, like I'll vouch for you. Like this is a private club. Like it's fine." And found out that this bar that I was trying to go to was like this private club. They turned into a private club right at COVID, in order to like stay open. So everyone in town was bringing their like liquor, their beer to like this place, like this like adult clubhouse, pretty much. And so when I got there, it was like me, this like bartender, and like 6 other people. And everything was like free. They were just like, yeah, we got some like beers. Like it's just like the people in the area. Like it's not a bar. Like we can't legally be a bar. Like we're a private club that you're like allowed to be here for. Got shown their like summer space, which they've got like horseshoe toss. Like all those sorts of things, like all those like outdoorsy games, I suppose they've got like in the backyard this huge space that they're wanting to open up to like campers, like hip campers, like bicyclists, all that sort of thing.
That sounds really cool.
And the coolest thing was that they've got a tunnel at the bottom of their place that they've excavated to like the bank is just next door. This tunnel runs from the bank to like the entire main street in town from like back in like the outlaw days when it was like unsafe to carry large amounts of money. They've got like probably 6 foot wide, like 6 foot 4, 5 like high tunnel that runs the length of downtown. That's like cobbled street, like
That's
good to go.
That is pretty.
Filled in, unfortunately.
Ah.
Filled in since like the downtown, but they excavated a little bit underneath their like tavern, and the bank is just next door, so they want to excavate out to that as well.
Sounds
But
more
like
like
you
a
can see
robbery
like
plan.
the rubble, honestly, like you can see like the rubble from where it used to be was like bricked over, and then like the rubble goes only up so high, and you can see like down for like ways.
Oh, dang.
And like the like air tunnels or like the ventilation shafts, like still there, still working fine. Like
That's crazy.
it's
That's
insane. And it's insane like talking to these people being like, yeah, stoked about like they want to like renovate out to the bank. But it's also like, yeah, we're all like ex-addicts. We're telling our like children to like leave this town. There's like nothing in Holbrook. Like there is nothing in Holbrook. Like it's a dying town. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like they've got this tunnel, which is like the coolest thing I've been across this entire time. But like that's not advertised, and like that's not excavated for like tourism. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So like they're telling their kids to get out of there, and like for like half, 75%. It's working, but like not
No.
100%. And like really interesting to like talk to that crowd for sure.
Yep.
Oh, I bet.
Like a robbery.
I know, right?
Robbery
Insane.
at
I was
private
just trying to go to a bar. Like it was like,
Like
damn, I'm
private
like tired
club,
after the end of the day.
straight
Like
to the bank?
Yeah. It was like, man, I had a really good day. Like national parks the whole way, not a lot of traffic. Like really good day of riding.
Nice.
And I was just like, yeah, looking for a beer. And I was just like, hey man, you want to hear like the
You wanna
deep story of our
see the
town? And I was
tunnel?
like, I guess. Like, yes, I do.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Is there
Crazy.
that's a pretty epic
crazy.
experience. I'm sure that wasn't the only experience you've had on this journey because you've been on it for a little while now.
Yeah.
But is there of what you haven't done yet? Is there any certain spot in particular that you're excited to see what it's about?
Sure. I've been trying to get to Portland for like a while, honestly. Like honestly, since like Portlandia, if we're being honest with ourselves. Like,
Okay.
I've been stoked. Like there's nothing better to me than like a run in the rain. Like that's like the peak of living. Like that's my favorite thing to do in the world. Like a run in the rain. A+. A+ experience. And so it's like, why don't we just live in Portland where that like happens all the time? And so like that's a part of it is like I would love to go to grad school that isn't in that area, especially because a lot of the grad schools I'm applying to aren't in that area. But I would love to live there for a little bit. And so that's like kind of what we're looking at. Unfortunately / fortunately maybe, I've been thinking a lot about, so I went away to college, and like kind of where those people graduated as well. That's like a very broad experience, like Chicago, New York, San Francisco, I guess, for like big draw cities. And I have a decent crew in DC. So like, man, living in like Togo for a while, living like on a bike for a while, it'd be great to live like near some friends for a while. Like there's not a ton of people in Portland. Like that would be the great environment I think for me, but like got a lot of friends in DC, got a lot of friends in New York. Like it'd be nice to live like near some friends, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but the cool thing about friends is you always have the ones you already made. It's going to the new places to make new ones. That's the cool thing.
Sure. I hear you there, but like I was just on like a long road trip with like this person I met like senior year, reconnected with like just a couple of weeks ago, like 3 days, like close, like nothing but like this friend like road trip for like 3 days. Like that's some of the best like time you can spend with someone, like going like super like deep, super like.
Oh, you get to really know a person that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, hey, Adam, is there anything that you want to share before we finished to the listeners
I don't
directly.
think so.
No? Is there any questions you guys had for Adam? Is there anything that we're leaving on the table?
Has anyone mentioned that you two really look like brothers?
Yeah.
No.
we really?
Seriously.
Yes.
Like, seriously, you look like brothers. Yes.
We'll get a photo,
That's what we're here
guys.
for.
We'll get a photo
That's my
all
support.
together. And,
Yeah, we rolled in and I was like, brothers.
oh, really?
Yeah. I
love
don't know.
that.
I like just saw you two and
I
you're just
love
talking to
that
each
so
other. I
much.
was just like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
Well, we're not. We're not even. We're going the opposite direction. But I can kind of see the similarities, I suppose. I get that. Well, hey, guys. Thank you for joining this. It was awesome doing it this way. Hopefully, everybody listening enjoys it. It's the first time that I've had more than 3 people. We had 5 people on tonight, and we would have had 6 if Tom didn't go to bed early, or on his time, early for the rest of
On
us.
time.
And it was just a really great time, and it was a great chat.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for inviting us.
Absolutely, and wherever our paths go, I hope that we all have the best possible routes and times. And I'd say a tailwind for the rest of us, but I know you're not going to get one, Adam.
Not gonna get one.
At
Grease
least,
your chain. That's
Yeah.
my recommendation. Is grease your chain
and keep it clean.
Really look after your drivetrain. That's all that matters at the end of the day. That's the only thing.
I saw a picture on someone's travel journal, and then there's this dude sitting there, working on his bike, and the caption below it was like, "If you love it, move it."
Yeah, that's a good thing. Well, hey guys, it was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Copyright OPAT Movement 2021.